Well, for me, the first time I picked up guitar and actually was able to do something was when I was a little kid. Um, I was fortunate to have been raised in a family where all the music that was played was heavy metal, hard rock, classical, or blues. So I was always hearing everything that was coming out as, the timeline was going from, the late 70s on. And when I was around 8 in the third grade, I became obsessed with Van Halen, and I became obsessed with Eddie Van Halen in particular. And I had an uncle who played guitar in a local band. And one day when I was at my grandmother's, he was there and he goes, "Hey, Jimmy," he goes, "would you like to learn how Eddie Van Halen does Eruption?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how does he do that?" I said, "Do you know how to do that?" And he goes, "Well, I can show you how he does it." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "It's called finger tapping." And he takes this little guitar, it's a little toy guitar about that big, and he hands it to me and he goes, "Now, what you're going to do is, you put your fingers here and you take your finger and do this." And he showed me how to finger tap. So I knew how to finger tap a good, uh, wow, 7 or 8 years before I actually started to play the guitar. I could pick a guitar up and just go, blah, 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 all over a neck, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know any kind of theory or, I had no melodic sense or anything. I was just, hey, I can do this. I started out as a bass player because I wanted to be like Steve Harris from Iron Maiden, and so I did a lot of that, with the hand. Within a year of playing the bass, I realized I wanted to write my own songs. And the only way I could do that was to learn the guitar. Luckily, my mom had a Silvertone acoustic guitar, which was an old Sears guitar, stored away in her closet. And I asked her if I could get it out and play it. And she said, yeah. And so I had to learn how to tune the thing. And then when I did, I started, I had to think, okay, so the first four strings are the higher octave of what's on the bass. And I had to, just get used to the fact that there's a B string and a high E. And so I started out playing like melodic lines like the intro to Fade to Black by Metallica or Black Candles by Candlemass, stuff like that.